Just a few notes before we begin. When you click on the video, you will see that the timeline has markers that divide into chapters. If you want to skip ahead or go back, just click on the chapter you would like to review. If you come across slides that need more reading time, pause the video and take your time to carefully go through the content. What matters most here is that you learn at your own pace and with diligence. And if you're using your mobile phone, turn it sideways so you can see a larger image. Module 1, Concepts. General Assembly, Collective Voice. An organization's hierarchy isn't as complicated as it seems. The General Assembly is the highest decision-making body. Think of it like a big family meeting where members vote to approve policies and projects, elect leaders, and set roles. For example, Ação Natureza elects a new executive director every 5 years to ensure the role remains dynamic and committed. All General Assembly members vote and the majority wins. Here is a curious fact. Did you know that the quorum is the minimum number of people required for a meeting to be valid? Without the minimum quorum, no decision can be made. Executive Board and Audit Committee, a balance of powers. Sometimes unexpected situations arise within an organization. Even when efforts are made to ensure that all the team members are aligned with its values, deviations in the procedures by some members may still occur. The Executive Board is responsible for mobilizing resources and the Executive Director manages the organization operations. Meanwhile, the Audit Committee ensures assets are used correctly. If a staff member uses project resources for personal purposes, the Audit Committee must report the situation immediately and act in accordance with the law. Sometimes unexpected situations arise within an organization. Even when efforts are made to ensure that all the team members are aligned with its values, deviations in the procedures by some members may still occur. The executive director of Ação Natureza was informed that one of the employees had used project funds for personal benefit. In addition to taking legal action against this employee, she began conducting workshops on transparency and integrity for all staff. In this way, she reaffirmed the institutional values and found a way to prevent such situations from happening again. Bylaws and policies, the rules of the game. It is always necessary to manage the documents that govern the operations of an organization. The bylaws are the set of rules approved by the organization's members that describe and regulate relationships between workers. For example, Ação Natureza included this paragraph in its bylaws. Whenever a member violates the organization's regulations and this is confirmed by witnesses, a letter of warning must be written to report the situation. When a worker accumulates 3 letters of warning, human resources must take the measures provided for under labor law. Policies, on the other hand, are internal guidelines the organization adopts to address specific topics, issues, or interests. For example, Ação Natureza does not accept donations from companies that lack pollution control and mitigation policies. That would go against everything they believe in. Mission, vision, and values, the organization's identity. Let's explore Ação Natureza's mission, vision, and values to better understand these concepts. The mission is to reduce the vulnerability of coastal communities to the effects of climate change. The vision is to become a reference in environmental innovation in southern Mozambique by 2030. The values are integrity, transparency, professionalism, inclusiveness, environmental preservation, among others. These are just examples to guide you, but remember, an organization needs to have its mission, vision, and values clearly defined to function effectively. Monitoring and evaluation. There is no point working in the dark. Every day counts when it comes to measuring progress. Monitoring tracks the project's day-to-day activities. Evaluation assesses its impact, and to wrap up the monitoring and evaluation phase, it's essential to prepare a report with accurate data that truly presents the results achieved. Only then can improvements be made and solutions found. For example, after 1 year, the Ação Natureza evaluation team found out that 30% of the trees had died due to an ineffective irrigation system. The solution? They worked in the community to create a more resilient irrigation system and overcome the challenge. Accountability and responsibility. Transparency is everything. Every project reaches a point where you need to crunch the numbers. When managing projects, it's crucial to keep the finances organized and take responsibility for both your actions and those of the entire team. Accountability means being answerable for financial results, both for what was done and what wasn't. It starts with the budget approved in the proposal and the annual plan. Responsibility means clearly and promptly communicating mistakes and unforeseen issues to members, beneficiaries, and donors. Never hide unexpected problems from donors that could cause project delays. It's better to explain the situation and work together on solutions. Target group, direct beneficiaries, and indirect beneficiaries. What's the difference? Do you know the difference between a target group and beneficiaries? Target group. This is the main group an organization works with or intends to work with, such as fishers, farmers, construction workers, biologists, women, and youth. Direct beneficiaries. These are individuals who benefit directly from the organization's work through the project's activities and results. Indirect beneficiaries. These are family members and others living with the direct beneficiaries who indirectly benefit from the activities and results, even if they don't participate in the project themselves. For example, a fisherman involved in an Ação Natureza initiative is a direct beneficiary. His wife, children, and nephews living in the same household are indirect beneficiaries. Strategic plan versus activity plan. Planning and doing. Of course, planning and action go hand in hand. 2 key documents help you get started. This outlines the organization's broader objectives, for example, restoring 50 forests by 2027. Activity plan. This details the specific actions needed to achieve these goals, such as holding 10 workshops with technical experts to train the community restoring those forests and mapping out where each phase of the restoration will take place. Pro tip: use a post-it wall to visualize all the steps leading to your bigger goals. Audit. Avoid surprises. An audit is an evaluation of how a project funds have been used, ensuring that resources received are allocated properly and transparently, following the donor's required procedures. When the donor is an NGO, both intern and final audits are carried out, either by external consultants for the organization's internal staff. Just a tip. Ação Natureza, for example, typically hires an external consultant demonstrating a commitment to ethics and integrity. Audit findings should be reviewed by the General Assembly and shared with donors. Be proactive and find creative ways to manage your spending, for example, by using mobile budgeting apps. CSOs and cbos. How to tell them apart. Let's take a moment to learn how to distinguish CSOs from cbos. CSOs are civil society organizations, private, non-profit entities whose activities seek to serve the public interest. CBOs are community-based organizations that work at the community level to improve local living conditions. This concludes our first module. We hope this learning manual helps strengthen your organization. Let's move on to Module 2.